Hello students, today I am going to deliver a lecture on the topic of relational algebra. Relational algebra is a procedural query language by which a user can state a query to the relational database for retrieving the desired information. Relational algebra uses a sequence of operations, okay, which DBMS follow to execute the query. Okay, and since it is a procedural query language, then we can say that in the relational algebra we can mention query along with the whole process. Okay, for mentioning the process, relational algebra uses a sequence of operations, and each operation can be a unary or the binary. Means that operation can take a single relational table as input, or the two relational table as input. Okay, and whenever it takes a relational input as a relational table as input, and after performing the operation it also returns another relational table as output. Here the operations are divided into two categories. One is the basic and another one is the derived. The basic are those which doesn't use any other operator for performing their operation, and the derived are those which uses the which are dependent on the basic operation for performing their operation. These are the list of this is the list of the basic and the derived operations. In the basic operation, select, project, union, set difference, Cartesian product, rename comes, and in the derived operation, natural join, left join, right join, full outer join, intersection, division comes. Let's see one by one. The first is the selection operation. The select operation is denoted by the sigma. Okay, here the use of that operation is to select the tuples from a relation on the basis of some predefined condition or a given predicate. So this is the notation of the select operation. The sigma p and the bracket, in the bracket we use the relation name over which we are performing the select operation. So p is a predicate by which we can mention some conditions for the tuples, and this condition uses some logical and the relational operators like the and, or, not, equal, not equal, greater than, less than, equal. Okay, so here this is the example of the query which is using select operation. In that query we have mentioned the condition subject is equal to database. Here subject is the attribute and database is the value. So and we are performing that query over the relation books. So that query is mentioning that we want the tuples in which the attribute value subject in which the attribute subject is having a value of database. Okay, so you can see here the relation books in which the only first tuple is having the value database, so in which the subject attribute having the value of database, and other tuples are not having the value database. So only that tuple will be the output. As you can see here, that tuple is the output. Next is the project operation. This is the operator which denotes the project operation, and this is the notation of project operation. The purpose of the project operation is to select the attributes from a relation for the output. Okay, so here a1, a2, an are actually the attributes whose value we want in the output. Okay, so as you can see here in the example query, here the subject and author is selected for the output. Okay, and this is another example. Here the table is having customer id, name, and the city, and here in the project operation we have mentioned the customer name and the city. So in the output relation we will get only the values of the name and the city in the output. Next is the union operator, which is the binary operator. Means that it takes the two relational tables as the input. Before performing any union operator, we have to see whether the relations are union compatible or not. To see the union compatibility, we have to see whether the both relations are having the equal number of attributes or not, or whether the attributes are having the same domain or not. As you can see here, in that notation, here R union S. Here R is one relation and S is the another relation. So before applying the union operation, we have to see whether the R and S is having the same number of attributes or not, or whether the domain of the attributes are same or not. Okay. So you can see in this example here, the course and student are the two different tables, and over which we have applied the project operations. And in the left operand there is only single attribute student name, and the right table also single attribute student name. So here the number of attributes in the left and the right operand are same, and the domain is also same because both are the names. Okay, in the output in the output, whenever the duplicate tuples comes in, then the union operator will not consider more than once. So you can see here Adit is present only one time. Okay, so union operator take the tuples which are present in the left table, and also take the tuples which are present in the right table, and also will consider those tuples which are present in both. So here in the output, the union operator will return the student name which are present in the left table, and will return the student names which are present in the right table, and will return those names which are present in both. Okay, so whenever duplicate names comes, then it will not consider in the output more than once. Next is the intersection operator. Similarly, it is also a binary operation. Okay, so before applying a union operator, we have to see whether the relations are union compatible or not. And to check the union compatibility, we will have to see whether the number of attributes are same or not, or the domain are same or not. Okay, so in the intersection operator will return those tuples which are same in the both relations. Okay, so here the intersection will return those names which are present in that table and in that table. Set difference is also again one of a binary operator. That also before applying the set difference, we have to check whether the relations are incompatible or not. Means whether the number of tuples, whether the number of attributes are same or not, or the domain is same or not. Okay, so here this is the notation R minus S. Here the minus is the set difference. Okay, so I have shown the output of the set difference by the help of this Venn diagram. Here the blue area is actually the output. So R minus S means the subtracting the all tuples of S from the relation R. Okay, so remaining tuples of R will be the output. So you can see here these are the student name of CSC students, here the student name of the summer course. Okay, so when we subtracted the student names of summer course, then it will return those names which have not which are not enrolled in any summer course. Next is the Cartesian product. Cartesian product is again a binary operator. Okay, so in this Cartesian product, we actually create tuples by pairing the tuples of both relations. Okay, first of all, the number of attributes will be equal to the sum of the attributes of both relations. Okay, because here we concatenate the both tables. Okay, as you can see here, the column A, column B, column X, and column Y, and the column A, column B are the attributes of R, and the column X, column Y are the attributes of the S. Okay, so here the number of tuples will be equal to the multiplication of the number of tuples of both relations. Okay, here the both relations are having 3 tuples, so 3 into 3 means 9 tuples. So in the output we will get the 9 tuples. Okay, so here we generate every pair of tuples of both relations. As you can see here, A 100, will make a pair with xs99. So here this is the tuple. Here AA100 will make the pair with yy11. So this is another tuple. Here AA100 will make a pair with zz101. This is the another tuple. Like this we make for the pair for the BV200 and the CC300. So this is how we create output relation using the Cartesian product. Next is the rename operator. So by the help of rename operation, we can rename the name of attributes of a relation or the relation names. Okay. So whenever we do a query, and through query we generate a new relation. Okay. Then there will be a need to store the output relation even by the different name of relation name and by the different name of attributes. So here we use the rename operation. So this is the notation of the rename. Here to denote a rename operation we use a row operator. Here this is the row, and X is the new names and R is the relation over which we are applying the rename. Okay, so here the pi role e name, this is the query actually which is applied on the relation student. Okay, so the output which we get from that query, okay, will be a relation. Okay, and that relation will be renamed by the male student. Okay, and their attributes roll number and e name will be replaced by the name, e number and the name. This is another example in which we are applying the rename over the relation department. Here we are not renaming the relation name. Here actually we are renaming their attributes. Okay, so therefore since we have mentioned the attribute the names in bracket, means that we are replacing the attribute names, okay, by the A and B. So in the third example we are replacing both the relation name and the attributes. Here the project will be replaced by the pro and the attributes will be replaced by the PQR. Next is the join operation. Join is actually a Cartesian product followed by some conditions. Okay, whenever in Cartesian product we actually get the all possible pairs of the tuples of both relations. Okay, but whenever we apply some conditions, then the output we will get only those pairs which which satisfies the conditions. Okay, so there is a theta join or the conditional join in which we apply some conditions over the Cartesian product. Okay, and only those pair will be come in the output which satisfies the condition. Here theta is denoting actually the condition, and this is the theta. This is the way to represent the theta or the conditional join. Okay. Before applying the theta join or the conditional join, we have to see whether the number of whether the attribute sets of both relation are disjoint or not. Okay, so it must be disjoint, otherwise we cannot define the output of the conditional join. Okay, so here in this conditional join or the theta join, we mention the condition in place of theta. Okay, so here student and employee is the relation over which we are applying the theta join, and this is the theta, means the condition. Here condition is student roll number must be greater than the employee number. Okay, so we alternately we can write it as like this, means this is the cross product, and over which we are mention the condition by the help of select operation. So you can see here, and here will be the output. You can see only you can see this is the output of the theta join. Sorry, here we have applied the theta join on the student and employee, and this is the output of the theta join. Next is the equijoin. Equijoin is a special case of the conditional join. Here only we can state only one type of condition which uses only the equal operator. Okay, so here as you can see, here the applied condition is using the equal operator. Here the student roll number must be equal to the employee number. Okay. Next is the natural join. The natural join doesn't use any condition. Here condition is actually implicit. Okay, so this is the operator for the natural join. We don't mention here any condition. Okay, so natural join can be applied only when the both relations are having some common attributes, and we always and the condition will be the value of the common attributes of both relation must be the same. As you can see here, the student and the student sports are having the common attribute roll number, and the implicit condition will be, sorry, okay, you can see here here we have two relations, employee and the department, and the both relations are having the common attribute department name. Okay, so means that we can apply here the natural join. Okay, so on applying the natural join, we will see the same values of the department name of employee and the department name of the department. Okay, let's start with the first tuple. Here the value is finance, so here finance is there. Okay, so means that tuple can make a pair with that tuple of this. So here output will be Harry 3415 finance George. Okay, so here the department name of both will be replaced by the single attribute department name. Okay, so like this, the sales of this will make a pair with this, and the finance will make a pair with this, and the sales will make a pair with this, and the human resources will not make pair any of that tuple, therefore it will not come into the output. Next is the outer join. Okay, so far we have seen only the inner joins. Inner joins are those in which the tuples which doesn't follow the condition, doesn't satisfy the condition, doesn't come in the output. Okay, so what in the outer join says, the tuples which doesn't satisfy the condition can also come in the output. Okay, so outer join can be a left outer join, right outer join, or the full outer join. So left outer join says the tuples which doesn't satisfy the condition of the left relation can come in the output, and the tuples which satisfy the condition can also come in the output. Okay, so means that the relation of a student which doesn't satisfy the condition can come in the output, and the tuples which are making the pair with the student and the employee, which are making the pair, will also come in the output. So you can see here, so here the tuple here that tuple is not making any pair. Okay, still even then that tuple is in the output, but corresponding to that tuple there will be no value of employee number and the name, therefore here the value of employee number and the name is null. But other are making the tuple, making the pair, therefore this tuple will also come in the output. Okay, next is the right outer join. Right outer join says that tuples which doesn't satisfy the condition of the right relation can also come in the output. Okay, so you can see here the here these tuple 5 6 4 are not making pair with any of the tuple of the student. Even then these tuple are also present in the output, but corresponding to these tuples the values of roll number, name, address, phone, age is not present, therefore the values corresponding to these attributes will be the null in the output relation. Next is the full outer join, which says the attributes of both relation can come in the output which doesn't satisfy the condition. As you can see here, the one is the list of teacher student, another is the relation of enrollment. Here the attribute, sorry, here the tuple, this tuple is not making pair because here the roll number 4 is not present. Still it is even then that tuple is present in the output, but corresponding to this here, okay, but corresponding to the OS and the 2, there will be no name and the age, therefore the values will be null here. And similarly in the tuple John 18 correspond to this, there is no pair, and the value of the subject and the duration will be the null. Next is the division operator. Division operator can only be applied when a divide b can only be applied when v is a proper subset of the attributes of a. Okay, so the attributes of b must be a proper subset of the attributes of a. Okay, and then the output will be the attributes of a subtract the all attributes of v, means we will get only those attributes which are present only in a, which are not present in the v. Okay, and in the output the tuples we get only those tuples which are associated with every tuple of the v. Okay, so you can see here the all sports are denoting the representing the all sports, and here that table is representing which student is playing what game. Okay, so when we apply the division operator, then we will see whether which tuple is making relation is related with every tuple of the all sports. So as you can see here, Ram is playing tennis and only tennis. Shyam is playing badminton only, sorry, badminton, and Shyam is playing tennis both. Means the Shyam is playing both the tennis and the badminton. Means the Shyam is associated with all sports, all tuples of B. So on the output we will get the Shyam and the roll and his roll number, because the sports will not come in the output. As I have said, the all attributes of B will be subtracted from the attributes of the student sports. So remaining attributes will be roll number and the name. Okay, so here the Shyam is that one which is playing tennis and the badminton, and or we can say it is associated with every sports. So in the output we will get only the Shyam and his roll number 2. Okay, thank you.